Got the old music back. Hello. Got the OG music back. This music is from Couple N. Actually, let me put that. Yeah, let me put that right there. I can change that at whim as well. This is the music that I used since day one of launching the Connery VTuber thing. It's Magical Hibernation by Couple N, and I used it for a really long time. And Couple N actually was they were the people responsible for helping get that copyright stuff all taken care of. It's cool that I can change that text on the fly, by the way, when the music changes. This one's also by Couple N. Hello, welcome. Welcome. What up? Hello, Monday, Halcyon, Nosy, Marceline. Oh yeah, we're early today. Hello, Nosy. Nightwalker, Noah, Manowar, Shu, Luna, Evil Fox, Drawn. Hello everyone. Palaguin, Meru, Luna. I think I already said Luna, but hello again. Hi. Fontaine, Act 4 today. Need to real quick housekeep the spoiler stuff. So we kind of talked about this earlier, so I'm going to touch on this just very, very briefly. But spoilers are, I don't consider like, try to keep the, here it comes, wait for this part. I try to keep that stuff to a minimum. I don't consider that spoiler, but it does kind of set up the expectation that something's coming. But I don't consider it a spoiler, so that might not be a like deletable chat message. But try to keep that stuff to a minimum because it does set up the expectation before the like wait for the game to roundhouse me by itself. But a spoiler is definitely like, hey, fun fact, Hilly Churls are Conrians. So, I'm sorry to whoever said that early on, but that was a pretty egregious one. So because we're getting back into more Archon quest stuff, at the end of the day, my mods do have the final say in what constitutes the ban, because I can't babysit the bans and that kind of stuff while I'm also playing the game. So at the end of the day, my mods do have the final say, and if you disagree with something that the mods say, then message them in Discord, something like that. But anyways, very brief housekeeping on that. I think we are all ready to hop back in, and we can start this off with some more Farina polls, by which I mean one. Fun fact, crabs. I trust your mods, they do good. They do. One on, wait, hold on. I want music for this. I want music. How's everyone doing today? Farina, 1. What pity are we at right now? Not much, are we? 5, 10, 14. 14. I don't have any standards, do I? No, of course I don't. Get it? All right. I think I'm gonna run this team right now. Just the 3 of them. Just the 2 of us. Back to jail. Back to the fountain, actually, because I do have 30. Why is this Melusine sad? Because I do have 30. Bro, what am I saying? Sigils. My goodness. Hydro sigils. It's cold. It's cold at your work. Yeah, it's getting to be spring in certain places. I probably could 36 star the Abyss if I was skilled enough, because I think I have the characters. I think I have good enough characters that I could. I just think that it's my skill that's lacking. EU friendly stream. What up, Stratos? Level 11. And it got me another fragile. Ooh, the next one gives me 2 standards. Ooh, is this a sword billet? That's a claymore billet. Fuck. I thought there was a sword billet. Wait, didn't I already get a sword billet? Oh, I already got a sword billet. Never mind. Never mind. Holy. Jeez. Well, that really goes up, Scoob. Okay, back to prison. Oh, wait, first. Last housekeeping, my forgery dues are ready. Oh, my neck. Horny chick. Ah, yes, prison. Oh, there she is. I'd like something made. Oh, my forgery dues aren't all done. Never mind. Okay. I think I already asked this. This one's gonna be a pretty good one for Wriothesley, he said. Flowing purity. More so than the, well, I guess the Widsith is on his right now, but it's just I have to switch the Widsith between Yenfei and Wriothesley depending on who I'm using at the moment. If I had a permanent Widsith for him, yeah, probably be best. So I might just continue just swapping the Widsith between those two because I never use them on the same team. So I can always just swap it between them. And it takes like 2 seconds to swap it. So who's the sapwood blade good for, by the way? That's the one we bought from the Aranara. Just pull a signature, obviously. Neither. Benny and Dendro teams. Benny has Jean's signature. It's gonna be hard to pull to have a better one for him than that. I guess if there's a 5-star weapon that had an HP substat, that would also be really good for him. Because the physical bonus doesn't increase his attack buff. It's just the base attack of the sword and of him. So what scales his attack buff is just his base attack of 759, which could be a lot higher, I feel like. Okay, continue exploring. This one's closest. A getting jailed for her war crimes finally. I think you guys can tell, I have very mixed feelings about both A and Wanderer. I love their characters, but also, bro, both of them have done some horrible things.
Hey, you over there?
Hey! Wazowski. Who, me?
Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
Even people down here play that game?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game?
No, thanks. We're busy with other things at the moment.
All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
That's what TCG is, Paimon.
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same in my eyes. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi.
Would you mind chatting with us for a moment?
Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to just pick a topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived?
Quite a few, actually.
Then, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
Gossiping? I didn't know that.
There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the
Quisto.
skinny one is Lavaroon.
Lavaroon.
People call them the bombshell bros. I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but they aren't exactly bad.
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing. Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
For what?
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though.
Did you just pronounce this exiled? Just Metro, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that.
By the way, do you happen to know anything about a forbidden zone?
A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me first, though.
Genius Invocation TCG would be abbreviated get I'm trying to trying to think of Get Out. I'm trying to think of ways that they cannot have to say the full name of the card game every time they talk about it. There's a really good TCG shop in the city where my wife and I live. Greetings. What can I do for you? I'd like a welfare meal, please. Understood. Enjoy your meal. I got a welfare meal. This. 4chan slip. Those with no freedom cannot be sad. And steak. Amber's steak is still better. Brad must be the first for doing Harbinger, clearly.
There's some people talking over there. Let's listen in on the conversation.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Don't even give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us.
Why are so many people in the prison from various parts of New York?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
Marked for death, more like. What is marked for death from? Oh, that's the ability from Skyrim, from the Dark Brotherhood questline.
don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole with talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Not bad if you ask me. Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
Are you drunk, sir?
And what makes you think they'd want to hire someone like you? That's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so confident.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say?
Probably. Seems like.
That's true.
So true, bestie. So true, bestie. Can I talk to these guys?
Anyway, I've already decided to stay here.
Wish I could say the same.
Okay. The other two guys are just standing there, not doing anything. Oh, the receptionist. Haven't talked to you. Fill out the form first. Which form? If you don't know which form you have to fill in, find someone who does know and then come back. Sorry to bother you. Real. Fortress of Centipede.
There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
No, it's not crab forms.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
Thanks. You guys are really nice.
You hear that, Quisto? We're nice.
I've heard your names before.
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle indeed. Oh, heh, it was just a little mistake.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Joel Soulseeker, thanks for the first time chat. Welcome and hello.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry, we're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that?
Oh, my Archon, I'd love to know. Please tell me.
Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
We ate the most incredible welfare meal recently.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she closes her eyes.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But enough about that. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress.
Damn, that was easy. Huh. Did Lavaroon just wink at me? Seems he's saying, don't be upset. He's a good fellow.
Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them.
Dogs.
You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Wriothesley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks, even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often? If you ask me, he's just faking it to get out of work.
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute before he came here? There's no denying that.
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else.
Interesting. According to Quisto, a person named Jirio frequents the infirmary. I should take note of that.
Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a fight, right? Guess that's just how terrible of a guy he is.
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
Why'd you all of a sudden start slurring?
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary. Come to think of it, I always see her going to the sick bay every couple of days, too.
Weird.
Wait a second. You don't think?
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on dates?
Yeah, that's what it is, Quisto.
But it's really hard to imagine.
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jurier to a pulp that one time. And we might be overthinking things.
So Jirio had a confrontation with a girl named Lorvine, who also frequently visits the infirmary. I'll remember that too.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Lyney.
Weird stuff.
According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
In the production zone, you said. Don't I have a teleport down there? Maybe not. Maybe not. Follow the yellow brick. Load. Oh no, I can't jump off because that's filled with water. Over here. Had to. You must understand. I had to. I had no choice. We all do bad things, but at least I do them only when I have a reason to. I didn't want to. I had no choice. I must, you see. You would have done the same if you were in my situation. Please, just a moment of your time. Maybe you'll understand why I had to do the things that I don't know where I'm going with this, by the way. just had to fill time while I'm in the elevator. Okay, he's up there? Wait, I have to go up again? I guess I have to go up again. Gotta pass the time somehow. No good name for Twitch. Thanks for the first time chat. What is up? Maybe don't take a shot every time I take the elevator because that would... I had to go down and then up again in a different elevator? Ooh, fodder facts. Oh, production zone upper level. Thanks for stopping by, Spides. Appreciate you. Ah! Thank you, whoever. Who the... Thank you. Wish I could thank you properly. My goodness. Holy crap. Bro. Holy shit, 24?! I always forget what the conversion factor is on these. Just how many wishes that is. Thank you. You guys really want me to... Okay, we are going to hold off on Farina until we get back up to the... until we get back up to her seat. Right? Right? Or should I pull right now? I don't want to pull in prison. Oh, there he is.
Huh?
Why do you look like you're about to sabotage equipment?
That look in your eyes. You found something?
A little something, yeah.
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided attention.
Your dad's hot.
I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out.
Indeed.
He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts.
I wonder what the dynamic is between regular Fatui people, like the lackeys that you see in the overworld, and the, not that Lyney and Lynette are lackeys of the Fatui. I don't even know what their real, how much of a Fatui, like how deep they are in the organization. If they're agents or what they even are, or if they're just kind of by association, they're part of the Fatui because they were adopted. But I wonder what the interaction, what like the dynamic is between the lackeys and the harbingers are.
Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
Most important thing right now is to catch up to him.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
Please do. We're counting on you.
It's the least I can do. We're all in this together.
We're
so
all
it's
in
only fair
this.
for us to fulfill our end of the bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Wriothesley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route.
Oh, Luna. the auto mod, auto mod, didn't like that. I kind of understand why Automod didn't like that one.
And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too.
Sure.
Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremonet's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremonet prepare for his diving mission. So, you are the only ones we can count on.
You're my only hope, Obi-Wan.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs.
All right, jump off the top of the spire. Can do.
You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you.
True.
Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
Sounds good. I'll give it my best shot.
My apologies, I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger brother.
But that's not a bad thing, right?
But what if I'm the older? Who's your younger brother? Because Fremonet isn't a blood sibling to the twins. But what if I'm the older brother?
All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Cut off his stay safe line. Paimon peeking over.
Stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Surveillance drone. Let's try to eavesdrop on them first. Several people here engage in conversation, but you only managed to catch bits and pieces.
It's not impossible.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here, so why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as you're ready.
You nod and take a long, deep breath before inhaling a large amount of vapor. If I recall correctly, potion result to fail attempt to alchemy. Zach gets so few lines in the Archon quests, and one of his line is just him retching.
Someone, please help! He's sick!
Oh, look at Siege went run.
Oh, are you okay?
Never.
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
Oh, my stomach.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it, Traveler!
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
Siege has taken out a few instruments and begun to do her checkup. I hope I'm not so healthy that she gets suspicious.
I see now. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way. Eh? Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath.
She's been using her hands to palpate different areas on my abdomen. Seems like she's using the elemental energy too. Her expression's growing more and more relaxed.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here?
Not too bad. Does it hurt when I shove this enormous syringe from my burst animation right into your stomach lining?
And here?
Oh, that hurt a little.
Huh? But initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, how strange.
Oh no, was my acting a bit over the top?
What about here? Does this hurt?
Not really, I can barely feel it.
Oh, I understand. So that's what it is.
She's like, you got TB, Arthur.
I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
Meow.
And she hopped away just like that.
Phew. This infiltration mission's going much more smoothly than I imagined. Next, there are only 2 people left in the room. Sejuani just caught that woman Levine, so she has to be one of those frequent visitors to the infirmary I've heard about before. Would that mean that the man next to her is Jiryu then?
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Still not great. I can't keep staring at her. It'll draw unwanted attention. That guy also seems to have noticed. Now he's looking my direction too.
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sejuani says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Small detail.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sejuani take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient?
Yes.
Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
Where did all of your energy come from? Fucking nerd. Sorry, he's got that nerd voice.
That's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sejuani prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her, you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sejuani's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please, keep it civil at least.
Yeah, that one guy, yeah, they're definitely coming down here to hook up. That one guy, the gossip guy. Do you think they're going down there to hook up? And they're literally about to murder each other. These two seem to have a pretty terrible relationship and only ran into each other because they came here to pick up their meds at the same time. Books? But outside the two of them, there's nothing suspicious inside the room. All the files on the table appear to be patient records, and while there's a box, I can't check it right now. There also aren't many furnishings on the wall, huh? Wait, there seems to be a movable hatch on the ground over there.
Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things like this!
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
The presence of a movable hatch isn't strange by itself, but perhaps it's my adventurer's intuition speaking. But isn't it a bit strange that there's a movable hatch here of all places? Is it hiding something?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurrier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
See ya, chump.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Look, who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need to keep dwelling on him.
You like him.
I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Seashween should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine.
Thank you for looking after me.
No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Not even a little bit.
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Seashween.
The Tsundere couple did not let me rest even a microsecond.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest.
Take the stomachache pill that Seashween gave me.
Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
Red, 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 red.
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
What? That's not from the Matrix. Did they talk about that before we walked in? Why don't I remember?
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
Thanks.
See ya!
See ya. It's been real.
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double check a few details, if that's all right with you.
Well, you won't find much in the internet on the internet. I was trying to make an Irminsul joke.
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead. So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night. Got it. Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure.
Seashween's still looking at me. I should just try to take a nap like she said. She's onto us.
You're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
She's onto us, I feel. Move yourself from regular patient's bed and relax completely. Weariness from work intel gathering. You can, however, catch some hints of Paimon's conversation.
We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super strong. So you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry. He'll recover soon.
Companion. That word brings a wave of comfort. You let yourself relax and to fall into a restful sleep.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left.
I feel a lot better. Thank you both.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take the meds regularly, and don't forget bland foods. Thank you, Miss Seashween.
I could make a crab emote. I can definitely make a crab emote.
Seems like a lot of people have been coming down with an upset stomach lately. I'll need to address that.
Sus. The squirrel's sus senses are sussing. How small is Nahida compared to her? Oh my gosh, Nahida's still shorter. Right? By a little bit. By a little bit. I know her hat is tall, but we don't count the feelers. I think Nahida's still a little bit shorter. I need to use the restroom already, real quick. I'll be I'll be right back. Give me just one sec. I'm gonna go to the wish screen actually, so there's some background music and it doesn't get silent when I do the BRB screen. Give me just a sec. What is with all the fucking crabs in chat? So many crabs. How many cabbages would a crab? I don't know, and I don't care. Oh my gosh, I read your name as Noah the Crab. Frolic, Shogun, frolic!
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death!
Did I say anything I shouldn't have?
No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, don't take my grilled fish, and now! Paimon talked with Sigewinne the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
The vent is sus. Are we really off track though? There's still a few weird things about the place. That movable hatch to the ground, as well as the question Sigewinne asked Levine. And also, were they really talking about their meds before we walked in? Oh, and was Levine and Jurier's argument genuine, or were they just putting on a show? Paimon, hear me out. Hear me out. Paimon, hear me out. Usually when I say hear me out, it's for something sus. I promise it isn't this time.
Whoa, you really are super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to give the info to Lyney.
For the next few days, managed to find opportunities, keywords relating to your suspicions on the piece of paper. Why did this one not last so long? Managed to pass the slip to a busy Lynette as she happens to pass by. Her disguise is impeccable, and she does not even look at you or change her expression as she pockets the info. Her disguise? Or is she disguising herself as a... And finally, the promised 9th day arrives.
Today's the day. Let's go meet up with Lyney.
Imagine if made us do another 9 rounds of the stuff it had us do in Act 3. There he is, standing by this thing again.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary.
You don't have to say that so loud, but yeah.
We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
I'm not opposed to helping you.
Perhaps that's true. You're both very good people.
Well.
And we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's still one thing that could get between us, lest you've forgotten. The matter of our respective loyalties. You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that feeling, so I assume you're just helping us out of the kindness of your hearts?
Well, everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future, too.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine and Lynette feel the same way.
I get it now.
Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her.
Oh, we heard about that too.
Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head over right away.
Is this one of those I hadn't picked up on that before. Is this one of those like he's a couple minutes older than her? Because they're twins, aren't they? Like, I'm the older one. He's in the walls.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange. Lynette?
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
Could she have found a lead and left to follow it?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records.
Oh, my neck.
Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, A quick guide to the psychology of emotions and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Sijuin would be interested in these kinds of things? She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melusine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Maybe both?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Oh my gosh, these beds are huge. You could fit like 7 Nahidas on this.
None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in, except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, while she left to retrieve the medication.
But this bed is still unmade, or 15 yen phase.
Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
That's not a good sign. The hatch.
This is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
When he leans down to the ground, movable hatch, starts
The space
tapping.
behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Look on Lyney's face. He's definitely beginning to panic. Don't panic, he probably said that subconsciously more for himself than anyone else. Than anything else.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards."
This is...
Is that all?
Anything on the back?
The back. This is...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have... Is she already...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
He always gave that vibe of knowing way more than he would, like that friendly demeanor. Why would he choose to act during our second infiltration attempt instead of the first? To make you more bold. Like, we did it the first time.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Neuvillette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though.
Why did he only go after Lynette, though?
I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means... the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
He deliberately made them both disappear.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Lyney, calm down. I'm sure that'll work, Ether.
Don't be like this, Lyney. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't be reckless. Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door. After him.
Oh.
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Lyney, wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Run, Radish, run! They made her sound both adorable and creepy as yeah.
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Go to the Duke office. Oh, that's what this center chamber is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Duke. Nyom. Well, that took a turn.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
He's not wrong.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lyney!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
Where are they?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
Yeah, but we're hella deep.
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Lyney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you.
Man's got connections.
I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Lyney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection.
Bro, your tea
collection.
collection.
Forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
This man just takes any opportunity to bring up his tea collection. He's like, by the way, did you know that I have a lot of really nice tea? Just squeezes that into every bit of the conversation.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Lyney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Lyney!
Unfortunately, Wriothesley has all the cards right now. He's the one who's like 3 steps ahead. We have almost no bargaining chips right now. Why do you have to do this?
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own. and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Lyney.
Wriothesley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Can we really not talk about this some more?
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lyney, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Just like Tevat. Please spare Fremine and Lynette.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Oh no, a pop quiz.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Can't believe he's asking about the hidden rules. If I recall correctly, if you keep working without any rest, during lunch hour on the 3rd day, you will find a portion of strange meat in your welfare meal. It's a good thing we've already run a thorough investigation on this. Let's see if I can remember all the clues. I should be able to find an answer if I can piece everything together. Oh no, I have to think! If you break the hidden rule of the production zone, your welfare meal might contain some strange meat. Regarding the hidden rule of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row? What happens if you violate the production zone's hidden rule?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sigewinne be doing during that time? The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons will spend them on Fonta. We often see Miss Sigewinne observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by looking at them. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Melusines have also developed a sense of aesthetics that appears rather strange and alien to humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well.
Okay. Who will see it if you keep working continuously?
The research notes said that the Melusine race... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product.
No.
We often see Miss Sigewinne observing the prisoners at work near the production zone.
Under what circumstances does the strange meat appear?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the research notes said that the Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of it.
This one?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial.
Why does the strange meat appear the way it does?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged...
That is...
Fonta's internal report suggests... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch.
And then this one
Fanta's internal reports
is this one? Fuck. Oh, I got all of them right. I got all of them right except for this one? Okay, why does the strange meat appear the way it does?
The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives, according to Collins, the Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only the research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world.
My
very
brain
differently.
is morbing into another dimension as we
The
speak.
Melusines have also developed a sense of aesthetics that appears rather strange and alien to humans.
Is it
According
this
to
one?
Collins,
Damn it! Wriothesley's like, I know just how to get this guy. Make him think.
the Fanta promoter has. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Fanta promoter has been. The research notes said that the.
I've done it. First try. I'm the greatest.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed?
Thanks. Thanks, Paimon.
The hidden rule of the
No.
People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first, we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Sigewinne, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sigewinne visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost.
He had all the cards until she put those glasses on. Then he's like, oh, shit. She's onto it now.
Sigewinne has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us. The recipients of her culinarily prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out.
And therefore, Sigewinne is a crab. Ether has no idea what's going on right now.
Are we on the right track?
He's like, no, nothing you said made sense at all. I'm just gonna kill Lynette and Fremine right now. You were so wrong. I'm just gonna cut their heads off right now.
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigewinne's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration.
Oh my gosh, that was the first of
including
3.
The one that you're not allowed to support both sides of the fight. Why is that?
The hidden rules of the Pancration ring. I remember. If someone tries to support both boxers at the same time, they'll receive a package the next morning, which contains a strange blood-colored liquid. We've also done a lot of research on this matter. Let me sift through what I found and come up with the correct answer. If you violate the hidden rules of the Pancration ring, you'll receive a bag containing a strange colored blood-colored fluid. Who sent the package containing the strange blood-colored
we
fluid?
often see Miss Siege.
This one's probably her. Why does the blood-colored fluid look the way it
The
does?
Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't The research notes said, according to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it. Fanta's internal reports suggest.
Why do only those who buy tickets support both fighters receive the package?
According to Collins, the Pancration.
That. Who sent the package?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it.
Why do those who buy tickets to support both fighters receive the
I've
package?
been told that the infirmary is all. We often see Miss Siegewien. The Fonta promoter has been
This? It only took 2 tries. I'm getting good at this.
Ah, Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the pancreation ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange, blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making.
Fonta Strawberry.
The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers.
Wriothesley just standing here with his arms crossed as Ether curls into a ball, screaming, trying to think, trying to rub his 2 brain cells together.
They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the pancreation tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on 2 opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
3rd question. What does this all have to do with tea? 3rd question. Have you heard of my tea collection? We haven't collected enough info to answer that question.
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriothesley. You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind.
Lyney! Lyney!
Pay for this!
What the
Lyney, are you alright?
Did someone shoot him with a poison dart?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Siegewien. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Siegewien?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Siegewien... You...
Are you his accomplice in all this?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Neuvillette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties.
I'm merely discharging my duties and my firearm.
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lyney someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
If you're close with Neuvillette, why not learn a thing or 2 about virtue from him?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Siegewien, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or 2?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me 1 more minute?
Lyney's a ride or die.
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Siegewien...
Oh my gosh, your
I
fucking
leave
tea.
Miss Lynette in your care.
What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clorinde. My door.
What the?
Fremine. Fremine.
He's still breathing.
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Work.
Okay.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Lyney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
These symptoms, it can't be.
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
But he's not is he from Fontaine?
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
He is. He's alive. How is he alive? He must have not touched pure primordial seawater then. Lyney's expression looks disgusted. Seems like he'd rather not have Sigewinne touch Fremine. Still, he didn't stop her, since it's obvious that Fremine does require urgent medical care. Sigewinne's examining Fremine carefully. She doesn't look too upset, which is a good sign. I hope Fremine will be okay.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
I was wondering that too. Like, where did he go? Is like a bubble of primordial seawater around the fortress? That would make a lot of sense. Similar to Alcatraz. For those who don't know, Alcatraz was a legendary prison in the United States. And it's positioned in the middle of the freezing waters in the harbor of San Francisco. I almost said San Andreas. In the harbors in San Francisco Bay, the bay. And what makes Alcatraz so inescapable is because the water around it is freezing cold. Like at its warmest, it still is brutal to either paddle through or there are three people who are rumored to have escaped in the entire history of it, and even they probably, the Rock. It would make sense if there was a bubble of primordial seawater surrounding the fortress, assuming they primarily only house Fontaine, like native Fontaine people.
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
That's a far less severe thing than I thought was going on here, to be completely honest. And he's finally begun to stop tensing his muscles on his face. Seems that he trusts what Sigewinne had said. She's like, Fremine and Lynette will be fine. It's just they're not. It's just that they're the only 2 4-stars in the room with us right now.
What's that look on your face. I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few
Punctuality,
minutes later,
quote unquote.
Siegewien may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lyney again.
I'm admiring your okay.
How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
That's fucking brutal, dude.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
The left turn he takes into tea at every single turn. That's a bad sign. Anyway, want some tea?
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Lyney, are you okay?
Sorry. I still can't get over. We were joking about it, but it's not. They were having a serious conversation. He's like, tea?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look all right.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but
That rhymed.
that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
I'm so glad that she's, at the very least, upright.
Lyney! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fremine? Is he... He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Let me immediately come to lift Fremine up. That was a terrible noise.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Very well.
The Duke and Clorinde are gone.
They probably went to get some tea.
Of course they
Duke
did.
will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clorinde will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
Clorinde saved Fremine from the sea. Just what happened there? Why is Zhongli half dead? What the? What the? I'll use squirrelfish. What's upstairs? I go upstairs. There's a 17-foot tall tea bag up here.
Could I tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
Why are you so sus, Wriothesley? I thought I thought we were getting into like secret harbinger meta just then. Like during that whole conversation, I was like, is this guy the big baddie of this region? Is it not Arlecchino? Because when it was like, oh, I kidnapped Lynette, I was like, you don't kidnap my Lynette. One of the things that made me really like Arle even more was learning that she absolutely brutalized that guy who tried to buy Lynette. Left nothing to identify him. He misheard her name, thinking she was Lynette. He heard this line.
Is it time for afternoon tea?
He's like, she's like, time for afternoon tea. He's like, I know you've already been adopted by a harbinger, but would you care to get adopted again? Man, POV Fremine again.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lyney. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
It has been. We've been in here for like a month and a half at this point.
The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened after you snuck into the pipes? That's kind of what that's almost what I was thinking, that there was a bubble of primordial seawater around the fortress. What happened after you snuck into the pipes? But how is it mixed in with the seawater? Because then is this entire sea that surrounds the Court of Fontaine tainted?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be?
Whoa! Trial solo Frem. What weapon did they give him? What the heck is that thing? Royal Greatsword. Huh. The bell from his trial. How good of a weapon is that on him? Or from his trial? From his trailer. Terrible. Man, I got Fremine a long time ago as well. I can't remember if it was on standard or where it was. Actually, no, he was on Yelan's banner, wasn't he? Alongside like Yenfei and other 4 stars?
Huh. This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Interesting. Door of Resurrection, implying enemies. Unless this is another Nilu situation where they give us a character, then don't let us do anything with them.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Well, then how do I turn it in the other direction? Dope. Use your nuts? I'm good. Please don't use your There's, on occasion, I'll just glance over and it's just the first chat message that I see is the one that I read out. Oh.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
I love and hate underwater sections in games.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
I must continue.
Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the?
So this is where the primordial water is.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Listen to this music.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push.
I know he makes it. I'm still nervous. I don't know why. Ah! It's buttons! Even during that, I was still like, "Oh no!" Like I know he makes it.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clorinde brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clorinde, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Sorry, hang on. Thought I heard a thump downstairs. There's been some weird stuff. This happens. Why does this always happen when I'm streaming? Never mind, it was wifey.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clorinde will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lyney?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lyney.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
That's understandable.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Lyney.
I'm also really sorry, Lyney. I should have been more careful.
Don't say that. It was all my fault. I was the one who should have been more careful. You two were nearly...
If I was stronger, maybe I would have already found Master Child.
No, how can you say that?
Huh?
I'm sorry.
What I'm hearing is, we all dropped the ball at some point during the mission, so the responsibility falls on all of us. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's on all of us.
Lyney, we understand that you're worried about us, but we're worried about you as well. Please don't blame yourself. We want you to keep your spirits up.
Yeah.
Homeboy is barely sitting on that bed. Small detail. Madam Buttons. Miss Buttons? Is Buttons still here? Buttons!
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Stabilized!
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sidgeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clorinde. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Whatever word you want to use, just tell me what the hell's going on.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lyney's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
He runs this place, Paimon. Does that...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Soth. Okay, it was a typo. Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Lyney suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own.
I was about to tell you to time yourself out. there's a line.
Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
I mean, yeah, we still don't know where. We still haven't had zero update on where he went. I know we kind of just started this quest, Act 4, but.
So you were hoping Lyney's group would just do your work for you.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lyney's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself?
No.
Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorinde down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Clorinde could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
I like it when the hair or the hat or the eye patch covers one eye. That's interesting. When we see characters in black and white like this, when we see characters in grayscale when they're like being referenced, did their visions always still glow?
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone really exists. What's inside of it?
That's not something you should be asking after.
Why not?
Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes, just tell me.
Follow me.
It's like, I will show you. don't know why it was kind of funny. Just everyone leaves the room and A's just standing here. The puppet in standby mode, just standing here. Like, what was I doing again? A always kind of has that absentee blank expression on her face. Show me. Oh, over here. Oh!
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
It's a factory. That's definitely the door we're gonna walk through in just 2 seconds, isn't it?
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
The slow descent. Once everyone's taking their position, the circular plate begins going down.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
What are you gonna do if I do?
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
All of this is just his tea basement.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
You don't. It's the cryo jail. You don't. Why is he being so sus about everything? I'm still not fully convinced that he's not a villain. It's a boss arena. The room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Temperature? Water pressure? I was going to say that the ratio of primordial seawater temperature?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
Pity.
The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak.
Imagine all of this was just because of Vacher's futzing around.
Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us.
You know what you should do? Just build another gate on top of this one while this gate is still holding. Just put another stronger gate on top of it. Since this is buying you a little bit of time.
If this continues...
That'll work, right?
Soon, it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the primordial sea is leaking through, if this gate fails, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
That's a problem, isn't it?
But that's just too weird. Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished.
Egeria.
The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves."
I wonder if Egeria was the Archon that fought in the Archon War, or if there was another third one even before Egeria. It seems like in the space of time since the Archon War, there's only been enough time for 2 Archons, though. That seems to be the theme.
And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves.
And thematically, that's very similar to how people continue to stay in the fortress even after they serve their sentence.
But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
Who was that?
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
What if you weren't Frank? What if you were Tom? Does that change how your perspective on prophecies?
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So as the Duke of Meripede, just what do you plan on to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
I think I'm still gonna tell the twins and Frem about this.
This is it.
Oh, it's these two.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
But I don't have a soul.
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Ed who? No, Edwin. Ed why? Ed where? Ed how? Edna mode. Yeah, we have.
Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
I read this as Arkham for some reason.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Paimon, was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
Sounds like what someone would say if they were in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
I bet so.
Jeez, forget I said anything there.
I'm sorry to his VA. It just has the... Okay.
Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
It can. Actually, that is how Kaveh,
Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Is this just a normal room? It definitely isn't. Look at these big glass. Is this the... This is horrifying. God, I hate the ocean.
Well, let's spice it up a bit.
No, thank you.
Here you go.
This,
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty.
And the quest on Petrichor that happens after the Archon quest expands on this.
According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
It's a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
The ship is going.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions now will decide the next steps Lyney's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Lyney the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
We will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Interesting. I have to use the restroom real quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to keep on pressing. It's only 4:45 my time. I do have a time limit. I do have a point at which I need to leave, but we're going to keep going. So, wish music for the BRB screen. I'll be right back. Because it's almost 5 o'clock somewhere. It's almost 5 o'clock here. Make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Drinking soda. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
Sorry.
How can you be so much like Wriothesley? Drinking tea.
Huh.
mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me.
Ooh, what'd they say?
They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Wriothesley and Sigewinne.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
Unless tea was a code word for blood, and brewing was a code word for spilling.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriothesley?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Feeling better now? Sounds a lot more like his old self.
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sigewinne is also busy with something or other, so let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meropide.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lyney.
Secondly,
Lyney, my boy.
Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. What? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
Oh, that makes sense.
What's more, the fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Iudex Neuvillette. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the Infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Lyney's grasp of the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Clorinde to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
I do. I'll share what you saw. You emphasize how it's not the time for disputes.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
And the prophecy also said that... The prophecy also... Was this in a trailer or was this in the game? That it mentions that after the prophecy is... After the prophecy comes to fruition and Fontaine is swallowed up, that Farina will be the last one remaining and will be sitting on her throne amongst the... will sit on her throne crying alone. Mentioned by Lynette in Act 1. Oh, both. It was mentioned in a trailer as well.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our Father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as
Aw.
family now.
That's adorable. Your dad's hot.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lyney when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
What was that? Was that the seas rising?
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
You know, Lyney, you're the only one missing. When's the next time you think that Lyney's gonna be on Banner? There's so many characters for them to, and they're releasing new characters as we speak. Like, I think the next time, because if I could have a full team of Natsu because he was on recently. That's true. He was on alongside Chaska, so probably is going to be a hot minute. But I could have Father and these three all on one team. A is like, why is there a bird in here? Why am I in the Fortress of Meripede? What's going on?
I feel like I should try to become someone more capable of helping.
You're incredibly helpful. Lyney thinks so too.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push myself, but aren't you just like that as well?
Jailbird? Who opened the window? His gameplay is cumbersome. Yeah, who has their... I don't know if I've ever used him in the theater or anything. Who has their Lyney and do you like him?
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Whose voice is that? Why does that sound like Lynette's VA?
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Lyney's great, but not for everyone. He's like Amber if she was a 6-star. Oh, right. He's Pyro Archer, isn't he? Crazy strong. Don't like his gameplay personally. Nightwalker doesn't have. He's alright. I didn't do... Oh, if I did his trial, because I would have done his trial then when he was alongside Chaska. I just obviously don't remember it. Whoops.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijween?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Clorinde's dinner as well.
Look at her over there.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat?
We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Then I'll have the tastiest stuff you have to offer.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
That's Noelle's line. Everyone says, leave it to me. I don't think we've gone a single episode without someone at some point saying, leave it to me, whether it's us in a dialogue option.
So delicious.
Amazing. Free dinners are the best. Amazing.
Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Okay. While I was yapping, I didn't read. After a while, the meals Sijwin ordered for you arrive. Unlike days prior, when you had to rely solely on luck, the dishes before you today are bursting with flavor. Sijwin also brings some drinks over to you. They taste a little strange, but she insists they are very nutritious. She also insists that Wriothesley is also a fan of them, but neither you or Paimon buy her claims. Okay, the shakes genuinely taste pretty terrible. At least, however, they help you calm down and relax.
feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
Exquisite, thank you. Besides the milk, exquisite.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sigewinne, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
I want to know why she's not pureblood Melusine. Why is she, like, she's half Melusine, half chibi human.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Wriothesley's office? When you said that you were protecting Lyney and his siblings as well.
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water.
And he was submerged in it, so he got a full hit of whatever it was definitely like dispersed out, like it was watered down. It definitely wasn't like a pure seawater, but he was submerged in it. So whatever, even if it was just a little bit of like a very diluted bit of it, it still hit him hard because he was submerged in it. Also, look at Clorinde sitting by herself in the cafeteria. Me in middle school.
Thankfully, Clorinde is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorinde left, to make sure that Lyney wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorinde had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Lyney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
But that doesn't make any sense at all. It's hard to imagine Neuvillette outside of his office.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Buttons!
Clorinde!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sigewinne really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Wriothesley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremonade too. You sure work super fast.
Oh, it was child's play.
No, he's lost somewhere.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sigewinne and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Miss Sigewinne was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
What are you... Everything okay? It's all thanks to Neuvillette.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
Ah, she's gone! I like Madam Buttons. I feel like the early 2000s media definitely influenced my taste in characters. Raven, Shigo, Azula, who else? Chest on cafeteria? I missed a chest at the cafeteria? At the rite of dissension? Oh, there's a chest on the cafeteria. Zhongli.
Right.
Give uppies.
I wonder who this gift could be from.
Mission Cardinal. Mission. My song Cardinalis's lockbox? And it's an ornament? Huh. I have been watching Mr. Feet. It's hard because I can't watch the whole video. Cause he does the playthroughs of like, can you beat all of Genshin using Lynette? Or like all of Genshin using Dia. But I can't watch the whole video because he does the whole of the game. And so I have to stop midway through. Why am I in Fontaine? Nahida kind of also has that absentee gaze about her. She kind of also... You could put fire behind those eyes, and like she kind of looks like she's got some murderous thoughts about her. She's spending eternity in prison, and I think Zhongli's eyes occasionally look like they're doing a little bit of lizard eye, like they're looking in different directions. I said that about Goth Nun. That her eyes look like they're looking in different directions frequently, especially in this pose. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, you know what's something? Akun watching from Akun, I can't talk. Where's everyone watching from? That's something I haven't asked in a long time. We have viewers from all over the world. Earth? Your house? Germany, Mars, Poland.
So much has happened.
Poland, UK, Brazil.
Just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed.
Philippines, Argentina, Brazil, Asia, UK, States, Natlan, Israel, Louisiana, Chicago, Canada.
I'm super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
I'm getting there. That was quick. She really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. I'm on 1 seconds for free.
Imagine sleeping next to that every single night. It's like good night. Why can't we just go back into our teapot?
What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking.
What?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
What's that sound? Paimon, wake up. We need to go out and see what's going on. What's happening? We walk out, everyone's turned into water.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
Why?
Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
He said His Grace said to evacuate outwards? Man, these 2 dudes came looking specifically for us. What absolute G's?
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
That means that whatever happened must have happened down below. Oh no. Isn't that gate at the very bottom?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
Nowhere. Don't follow us.
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Running towards danger while everyone else runs away. Because that is what heroes do. That is what heroes do. Activate the lift device. Ooh, cutscene. Clorinde!
They're here.
Just like I said.
Wasn't the needle already
You're
pegged
just in
earlier?
time. But be ready to run.
Is he gonna try to freeze the primordial seawater? That's not gonna hold. It's like purpley and like glittery. That's gotta be a super high concentration then too.
3, 2, 1.
Ah, the storm gates. With the blast door. Oh!
This won't hold you for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
I don't know if I'm not. Sorry, that was really epic, really cool. But okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me who was having this thought. She's like, the gate. How long do you think it will hold? That's her to her tailor.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
You should be asking them that question. It's like, why are you out of the fortress? Why?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, you can explain everything else to me later.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
That was such a hype cutscene. Wriothesley almost getting his face chopped off by the blast doors. And the fun music.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people
you two the Traveler and Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
I'll do my best. She skips away. Although, the knave can hit for crazy high damage, so I can't promise what I can do, but I'll do my best. She's happy. Once we walked in.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Also, someone in the YouTube comments mentioned that even just Arlecchino referring to Farina as Miss Farina instead of Lady Farina is a slight against her. It's a very calculated thing to not refer to her in the honorifics that she should be referred to as, especially considering Arlecchino is a blood Fontanian.
Of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
So this is the Knave, the head of the House of the Hearth and the Lyney siblings' father. She certainly does not seem easy to deal with. Greetings. Pleasure to meet you too.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
She seems friendly enough, but that can't be all there is to her. The Knave is a force to be reckoned with. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
It's pretty good. I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Wait, Child should have no reason to have said something like that.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Oof, that sounds so threatening. Man, I love her voice. I have faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Farina looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the Knave. Do you think Farina knows about what the Harbingers have been doing across Teyvat? Do you think she knows that the Fatui are after Gnosis?
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Iudex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Paimon's statement just left us wide open.
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
We do not. But there's also no evidence that he has been injured or killed.
That is good news, at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the Opera House. Is it something like that?
She's turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Farina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
He's so powerful, and I still don't know why Neuvillette
Sure you
is.
don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
What does that mean? What are you?
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Also, that water breaking past all three of those blast doors. Whew. Hang on. My mouth was hanging open for that entire scene. And so, like, my mouth got dry during that.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
Bro, what are you?
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Clorinde thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
I really like her eyes. She's got the purple ring. It's a very different design.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal courtesies.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Cut to upstairs. Arlecchino's killed all three of us.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Both of these two actresses did Farina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the knave's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting on a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So that was all a lie? Or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now, but she's deflated like a popped balloon. This goes along with what I was thinking, that like there's those two Farinas, the Farina that's very shy and unsure of herself, and the Farina that is cocky and bratty and more in control and more forceful. It seems like that is. I said it before and was like, I was just kind of saying that as a phrase because it's a phrase to say it's an act. But when I repeated that back to myself, I was like, it's an act. Is it an act?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself.
They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes.
Because it, like... Is it an act, or is it the two Farinas switching places? Similar to, like, A and the Shogun. Not saying that Farina is a puppet, because that'd be redundant if they just reused, like oh, she's a puppet, just like Inazuma. That'd be weird if they reused a theme. But it's like, is it two Farinas? Is it her two sides switching places?
Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Lyney tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
She's so bad at hiding that, like... That's what tells me that it's an act and it's not two Farinas switching places.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side.
Yeah.
Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
These aren't topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Neuvillette's task was. If I had to guess, he probably went down to deal with the surging primordial sea, but can he really deal with it all by... Oh, Traveler, my child. And is Farina being truthful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Then he proceeds to change the topic and brings up the number of less significant matters.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course, I'll walk with you.
Paimon's coming too!
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
You could retire into my... What's it called? That was a horrible place to end that sentence, Connery. Into my roster! Stop. Don't. Roster! Shut up. Whoa. Oh. That's what this side door is? This isn't her chambers, though. This is just a meeting. This is just a meeting room. I thought this was her office for some reason. But no, that's in the Court of Fontaine. I wonder if there's intentionally no music right now. Oh, it feels like there is, because it's just it's tense. You're just walking silently up the stairs. I love Arlecchino so much, dude. Her characterization, not just in combat, not just meta. Yeah, she deletes enemies, but her character as well. Her VA and the dialogue that's written for her portrays that it portrays that feeling of someone who's holding all the cards, who's already 4 steps ahead, who she dominates the room. Don't clip. Thank you, Samu.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
I didn't think that's what you wanted to talk about. She's a very complex villain. She's clearly the villain of this region. She doesn't strike me as evil, though. It doesn't seem like she's... That's one of the great things about this game, is that a lot of the villains aren't pure evil, you know?
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Is there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Lyney, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Lyney.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lyney's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that She often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
They mentioned that in Act 1, like really early when we, before we even met her. Paimon mentioned that when we were still at the harbor before we, like when we first started Act 1.
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you.
Is this Arl?
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
I would like this as a skin, please.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon.
I was thinking that.
In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
Wait, what does she mean, cursed? Essentially, she's under some kind of curse?
I left the scene with ease. Nobody
Oh my
came
gosh.
looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
Farina quietly crying alone is such a dark thing to think about. It's like another step towards the prophecy.
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Okay, I've been thinking that for a long time. Because before we got here, but before Nahida told us that the Hydro Archon is a female, I was like, it's definitely Neuvillette. He's too powerful. Like, he's so strong. But then she says the Hydro Archon's a female, yada yada yada. But then as we got further in this quest, as we got further in the Fontaine Archon quest, I was like, what if this is a similar situation to A and Miko, where I don't think that Neuvillette is the Archon. I think that Farina is still the Archon. Or is she? I think Farina is still the Archon. I just think that there's either two Farinas, or there's something about her having two personalities. One that's very confident, one that's not. But I was thinking maybe, like, what if this is an A and Miko situation where Farina is the true Archon. I think that she is. I think Arlecchino is wrong here. But is Neuvillette the keeper of the Gnosis because he's more powerful? Is he the keeper of the Gnosis because of the Gnosis because Farina, one, isn't strong physically. She's not a fighter, and two, there's that unconfident version of herself that would just spill the secrets, or for example, like we just saw, she would just let herself get jumped.
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, The contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well. Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lyney and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
Kiliona, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Holy balls. Jeez, that was loud.
You should know the rest. Lyney's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
That also, I really don't think that Neuvillette's the Hydro Archon. I like I said before, I think that he just, I don't know. Let's keep going. How'd you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
All the Archons behave very differently, though. They ruled very differently. Look at Venti versus Zhongli versus A versus Nahida. They all. I don't know if I agree with that that assessment. Just because they don't conduct themselves like a harbinger or like an Archon.
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth.
That's gotta be weird.
Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Neuvillette?
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
She has that snarl at the end of her voice. That's what makes her so threatening. When she speaks at the end of some of her voice, she has that snarl at the end of her voice, the end of her words. That's what makes her. It's a combination of her stature, like how she carries herself, and also her words, and also just that she speaks, that gives her that effortless and lethal precision about her.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina.
May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
It's for what happened on our side. And I feel like that kind of power is so suspiciously strong, very powerful, that he almost certainly is the keeper of the Gnosis. However, Miko is the keeper of the Gnosis, and she never exhibited crazy power, but I guess she never had a reason to. Or she was the keeper of the Gnosis.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Can I ask you some questions, homie?
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea. Does this mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What did you sense in the Fortress of Meripede? Did you manage to protect those that need to be defended? Did you manage to protect those that need to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, light rain soon growing to a downpour. And just moments before, Neuvillette has mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to that legend and what Fremine said, it said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the sky...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Are you the Hydro Dragon? Like a Pep is the Dendro Dragon.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the Dragon Sovereign of Water? Water!
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
That explains why he doesn't have a vision. But then, is he the keeper of the Gnosis then? Is he that powerful because he's the keeper of the Gnosis? Or is he that powerful because he's a dragon sovereign? What?
Farina.
Why are you out here?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the Dragon Sovereign of Water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Holy bombshell. What the... Dvalin's not a sovereign. He's one of the four winds.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
I'm telling Charlotte immediately.
There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
I wonder who does know. Like, does Nahida know? Because of being the god of wisdom? Does Zhongli know? Because he's 8,000 years old, 6,000 years old?
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, and you were able to force back the Primordial Sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
It's probably more complex than that.
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
We learned that in Before Sun and Moon.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Let me read that again.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Damn. It is almost 6 o'clock here. I might have to pause here for this episode. How much longer is in this quest, do you think? Oh, we only got 2. We haven't opened hardly anything. For like 20 minutes. I still might have to call it here, even if it's just 20 minutes. Let's pull first, though. Yeah, one of the biggest questions I had, which is just, what is he? How long is Act 5 as well? Actually, next stream, we'll probably finish up Act 4 and then continue other stuff, because we wanted to do other things in between Acts 4 and 5. So tomorrow, let's finish up Act 4 and then do other stuff. And then, I think...
Deal. I'm in.
Thanks. Sounds good. See, he's in. He's down.
Want me to come along?
Where's Lanyon?
Doesn't matter where. I'll be there.
I think next stream, let's do, let's finish up Act 4, and then we will, then we'll do, like, Neuvillette's story quest, the other stuff that we needed to do, in between 4 and 5, and then...
Quake.
I believe we will do what we did last time with Sumeru. Act 5 we will do in one stream. And I think we won't even call that Squirathon. So 2 endurance streams in the near future. Fontaine Act 5 and an actual Squirathon.
Crumble.
Oh no!
Quake. Crumble.
What an episode. What an act. Whew. 6-hour stream or longer. Oh no! I'm okay. I'm okay. Kazuha's still good for those little quick jumps.
Rise.
Alright, switch back to my Archon team.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
The campaign begins.
If possible, wait to weekend. That's a good idea. Now, in between that and this, in between right now and when we do Act 5, I don't know how much time is going to be in between the two, because we have stuff to do in between then. But, oh, just barely. We're 10 away. 10 away from having 25. Okay. Come home, you brat. What is our pity? I don't remember. 5, 10, 15, 15. 15 pity. Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll finish up Act 4, and then we'll do Neuvillette story quest. We'll do some other stuff in between. We might even continue on with the Paris quest as well, and then maybe some like world quest stuff like that. And then maybe this weekend, won't promise that, but maybe this weekend we will finish Fontaine's Archon quest. We'll keep you up to date on the Discord. 10 pull on Farina. What an act already, and this act isn't even over yet. Hello, Mika. I'm gonna need these constellations for when I run that painful team. I'll show you that in a sec for whoever missed last stream. I got dust out of that. Wow. Oh, you know what? That gave me enough to get another one. Boobity 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 boop. Thanks, Mika. You know what? I used your glitter to get me another wish. You're funding my Farina, Mika, so thank you. Another 10. Oh my gosh, that. Chongyun. Boop. Dust and 5 singlets. What pity are we at now? I can't do math. $35. Wow, another 4 already. Another Chongyun subject. And last one. Getting right up there in pity, and there's still 13 days, bro. 13 days. Whoever keeps crystalling me, bro, I'm not gonna lecture you. I don't tell you what to do with your own money, but I'm assuming that you have I'm assuming you're okay financially. Thank you so much, whoever you are. I appreciate you. Let's everyone nuts in chat for whoever the anonymous whales are. Okay, that's gonna have to do it for today. It's 5 after 6 my time, and I got stuff going on this evening. So, thank you all so much, everyone, for stopping by. What craziness. What craziness. Let's end with that song. Whoops. Thanks everyone so much. Appreciate you all. As said, tomorrow we'll finish up Fontaine Fact 4, Fend, Fill, Continue, 4, Furled Fests. We'll finish up on Fontaine Act 4. We'll continue some more World quests, probably Neuvillette's story quest. Who knows? Kind of play it by ear. But we'll definitely be we'll definitely be doing Act 5 in one stream. I'll keep you up to date on the Discord when that will be and when the next Squirathon will be as well. So, Discord, linked below if you're watching the re-upload, and if you're here in chat right now, it's in the About page in my tabs here on Twitch. So, thank you all so much. You're too kind. Love you lots, drink water, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!